NA Pros decide to move to Sub-Saharan Africa, Zen is going to end the RLCS, and Karmine Corp win in Europe. Again, my name is Anton and you're watching This Week on Rocket League. This is of course the series where we take a look at all the crazy and stupid things that this game has had to offer during the past 7 days, and somehow, this game never fails to surprise me.
Let's go! Woohoo!
But now, let's check out what's been happening this week. A couple of pro players got under fire this week after Lunar posted this tweet saying that him, Z-Money and an undisclosed third were looking for an org to represent in the spring split in Sub-Saharan Africa. Now many people weren't really a fan of this, since it doesn't really make sense competitively. SSA has no major spots, and there isn't as much money to be won. For a lot of people this just seemed like they're gonna go on vacation in South Africa, get a few regional champion titles, win some money, and then just leave. Now this isn't really against the rules. Sonic says that as long as you're physically in the region, it's allowed, so the criticism isn't really about that. It's more about whether this should be allowed. SSA has been in the RLCS for barely a year, and they've never really had a chance to play against high level of competition on low ping, which has made it harder for them to develop. From the SSA players' point of view, the region has finally made some progress by being let into the RLCS, even though just barely. Only for these guys from a well-established region to come in and exploit it for a free holiday. From the other point of view, they wouldn't make the major in their own region anyway, and would probably also make more money in SSA than they would in NA. As always, I'd like to hear what you think in the comments below, especially if you're from Sub-Saharan Africa. I'm gonna tell you my opinion, but remember, it's just my opinion, so I welcome any counter arguments in the comments as well. I lean a bit more towards the SSA players' side. As long as the region doesn't have a major spot, or even a way to qualify through a qualifier, I think SSA should have some protections, like for example that only permanent residents can play in the region, or that at least 2/3 of the starting lineup have to have citizenship in one of the SSA countries. It also just kind of ruins the competitive nature of the league if some players go play against lower competition just for the money. I mean, that's like Lionel Messi moving to Guatemala and playing against teams like Guastatoya, or Mbappe scoring 60 league goals in Thai League 1. Or Ronaldo going to Saudi Arabia. Moving on to esports and the RLCS regionals that happened last weekend. Over in EU, Karmine Corp got reverse swept by G1 in Group A. After conceding twice in overtime in the last 2 games, they still finished on top, however, with a superior game differential. BDS then got their revenge against Moist after being swept by them in the playoffs last regional, this time sweeping them themselves. Quadrant topped the table though, after beating BDS in the first round. Team Vitality got reverse swept by Williams Resolve in the first round of Group C. Now there's the Vitality we all know and love. They still managed to qualify, however, as much delight, very much not to their delight. Got smacked around by everyone and placed in last place. Meanwhile, Team Liquipedia topped the table with a 3-0 record, and in Group D, Oxygen beat German Amigos once again to take the #1 spot, this time reverse sweeping them. Meanwhile, Sonics did the same thing to Endpoint in the other round 3 series. Do Europeans not know how to count to 3 or something? Moving on to the playoffs where BDS once again failed to make it to the top 8. Of course, they were unlucky to get German Amigos, who've been one of the best teams in EU this split, and Monkey Moon is still struggling with mental health issues, so you can't be too harsh on them. The instant classic Williams Resolve against ended in the former winning the series 3-2. Team Vitality coach Farah then reminded the team that Zen was coming for their jobs, and they absolutely smashed G1 3-0 in the next series. Moist then also swept their opponents to make it to the quarterfinals, where they faced Team Liquid in the El Splashico. Liquid was the wetter team though, and absolutely wrecked them 4-0. 2 goals. Team Vitality then tied the series against Quadrant 2-2, after which they decided to test a new strategy, which was that if they all suck, maybe Zen will leave the team and leave them alone. Oxygen then had no mercy against Williams Resolve in the second last quarterfinal, and in the last quarterfinal, Karmine Corp beat German Amigos after this nasty wave dash dribble by Vatira.
And we know regular viewers will realise those things are magic. I don't know the actual percentages, but they up your percentage of winning the next game by a long way! They let you think, they let you play!
Casey then moved on to absolutely demolish Oxygen in the semifinals to make it to their 5th consecutive regional final, where they then beat Team Liquid to take home their 3rd regional championship this season. How did EU become about as competitive as the Bulgarian Football League? These are the EU rankings after 2 winter regionals. Karmine Corp have of course already qualified for the major. In fact, they're 2 points away from securing the #1 seed. EU should just be called Casey and the others at this point. Oxygen and Liquid should be fairly certain to make it in based on current performance. Vitality are also on track to make their first major since the fall major last season. Meanwhile, there is a tight race for the last major spot. But moving on to South America, Ninjas in Pyjamas' rough start to the split continued as they were upset by W7M Esports in the last round of Group B, placing 2nd in the group. And because of that, after beating their old org in round 1, they had to face Team Secret in the quarterfinals, who they narrowly lost to in Game 7 overtime, meaning they still haven't made it it to the semifinals as a team. Team Secret didn't fare much better though, as they were stopped by Exceed in the semifinals. Did they just forget how to play in the middle of the series? And so Exceed made it to their second regional final in a row, where they unfortunately lost again. I don't think many people expected SAM to be this competitive. I mean, it could even be possible that no one's gonna move to North America after the split. The favorites have pretty much no chance at qualifying for the major at this point, and even Team Secret could be out of the major for the first time since fall 2021. SAM might be the most exciting region this split, and even in APAC the tides have been turning, as Elevate were finally beaten in the last regional, showing that they are not. You might think they dominated, but actually they did lose one game. Elevate are tied with the Gladiators in the rankings with one regional left to go. Do you think Gladiators have a chance? But now let's turn to NA college players and check out the Sub-Saharan Africa regional, which was won by Limitless, obviously. What did you expect? And moving on to the regionals happening this weekend, these are the teams taking part in the NA Winter Cup. Basically just the same teams as last time, but Axel has been replaced by Ghost. These are the teams qualified for the Oceania Winter Cup. Team Power are looking to catch up to the Pioneers and Ground Zero after the quarterfinal exit in the last regional. And in Middle East and North Africa, the race between the Falcons and Rule 1 continues with these teams. I've already mentioned Zen a couple times in this video, but this kid is just too good. He played a couple show matches on Johnny Boy's Twitch channel, and just look at this goal against Daniel.
That should be enough to cross the finish line in Game 5. Not before Daniel tries another pogo. I feel like every time Daniel tries a pogo, he only air rolls into the ground like at the very last second. Zen shows him I stun! Oh my goodness!
My guy just schooled him in the middle of the match. The RLCS is gonna be finished once this kid gets to play again.
Watch out, I got it. No, it's okay, I'll get it. No, wait! We'll use the power of friendship.
Nah, I would just forfeit after that. But now it's time for a clip of the week, now in affiliation with NordVPN. Each week you guys submit your clips to the AntonTheKicker Discord. The top 5 are then voted on by the members and have a chance at winning 1000 credits. So if you want to submit your own clips or influence who makes the top 5 for one of these videos, you can do so on my Discord server, link in the description. But before we reveal the top 5, let's look at some honorable mentions. Stupid got this interesting reset in a 1v1. Mimical got this double reset musty also in a 1v1. Sneakynarnar then also got a double reset musty. Ben's got this clean ceiling reset air dribble in training. And before we reveal the top 5, Xventure got a double reset air dribble in a 1v1. But now it's time to reveal the top 5. Like mentioned before, these were voted by the Discord members. Jay Smiley Winky Face scored a double reset in competitive 2v2. Gunner scored his first pancake in a GC lobby. Trust me bro, this was Chicken Nugget's plan all along. Schoofs hit this 171 kph ceiling pinch in a 1v1. And last but not least, badkydooda scored this psycho in a 2v2 match. For him though, it was nothing special.
Oh my god. No.
And that's the top 5. As always, there will be a YouTube poll on the channel. The person with the most votes after 24 hours wins 1000 credits. NordVPN gives you access to over 5400 servers across 60 different countries around the world. Can't watch your favorite Netflix show in your current location? Well, it only takes one click to change that. Look, now I'm in Australia. I myself have been using NordVPN for a while now, and I truly believe it's a great product. And that's why I've teamed up with NordVPN to get you a discount plus 1 month free on your 2-year plan. Just go to nordvpn.com/AntonTheKicker or use the link at the top of the description. A VPN is just one of the essentials of any internet user these days, and using the link in the description would really help out the channel as well. But that's it for this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it, and you already know what's up. Today's comment is from Captain Lando, and he wants me to check out Djibouti, which isn't a place, but I assume you meant Djibouti, so we're gonna look at that. I currently have 29.7 thousand subscribers, and in Djibouti, we'd actually be the 3rd biggest city. Let's go.
Let's go.
We'd be just above Dick Hill. Why? Dick Hill's in Djibouti. I'm 12. And we'd be quite a lot below Alisabie. But as always, remember to like, subscribe, comment, share. Become a member. It's a great place. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. I'll see you guys later. Bye.